My name is Wernberg, and I'm at the Habitat Restore in Brainerd, Lakes Area Habitat Restore, and we are going to make a junk word sign. Not quite sure what to call it, but I'll show you, kind of almost done. And this, I hope you can see, it says faith. We are just gonna, I'll just show you some things, what we have done to make these. We had a couple workshops on them, and then we sold some at the Restore. And all of this will be for sale at the Restore when we're done. All right, some of the things you can use. Obviously, I'll show you. This is a faucet handle. These are old handles from cupboards. This is an L bracket. Not sure what this is. This is a hinge. I'm not sure what those are. On this one, I have them both started. I'll finish them with you. This is a hinge, and I've even saw some people turn this on the side and make a V out of it. This is another hinge. This is just a piece of metal. Not sure. Hasps. In the old days when they had those. But there's all kinds of fun things you can find. You probably can look in your own yard, a secondhand store, anywhere to find them. But come to the Restore. There's all kinds of good gadgets around. So some of the things you need some wire. This is just floral wire, some thin wire, some screws. Mine are 3/4 inch, or this little ones are 5/8 inch, because you have to be able to make sure that you don't come out the other side. And I did have, I think, 1 1/4 inch, 1 inch too. And another thing you could use, we happen to have, these are called staples. If you happen to have some of those around, you can put the staple right over it, and it kind of adds a little decorative part to it. Maybe some little brads, just like brads are just little nails without heads to them. Even some big-headed nails would be kind of fun. Maybe even a roofing nail that would be with the really big heads. Just, a variety of things. I think you can be creative with this. So, all right. Like I said, I already have them pre-started for you. So I'm going to finish them and show you what we did. You'll need a drill and a drill bit. And when you use a drill bit, your drill bit should be smaller than your screw that you're using, because that way it'll grab into the wood. And if your hole's too big, if something falls off, like when you're working on something, get a bigger, fatter screw. That'll fill it in. So, oh yes, wood. This is just some reclaimed wood, recycled wood. This happens to be siding from something we tore off our cabin. That's what that is for. This is something that was, I think this is an old piece of siding of some sort. It has a really cool texture to it. You could use live edge wood. You could use pallet wood. These are already pre-stained, so I left them that way. This was the stain of it. This one was, I think, naturally aged that way. You could paint them. If you're going to use a piece of pallet wood that's pine, you could paint it and distress it by, after it's dry, then you would scratch it up with a piece of sandpaper. Sky's the limit. You could do whatever you want with the kind of wood you had. But I wanted my word to be just a little, with like about a ½ inch on each side, whatever you want to do. So I laid it out, and I've done it a couple different ways. I laid it out and did one letter at a time, and then I would lose my place, or it wasn't quite fitting in there. So when I made this one, I decided to lay it out, all out, and do the drilling, all of it at one time. I kind of knew what I was going to do. Like this one, I used a screw. These I used screws. These I used wires. You could use a staple. Like on this part, you could have just used a staple if you wanted to, as long as it's not too long. Just kind of figure out what you're going to do. And then I went along and drilled all the holes for it first. So I would put one hole on this side and one hole on this side, so I could put the wire down through it. And then we're going to turn it over on the back and then tighten it up. Oh, I forgot to say you're going to need a wire cutter, and a needle nose plier. That will help you get it really tight. So I would go along and I would drill a hole here and one here. So that will go down for the wire. And I realized I needed one here. So I put one on this side of the little L bracket, one on this side, and one on this side, and one on this side. So I kind of just figured out what it was. And sometimes it's just try and error. You might have to add another one. So I just went along and pre-drilled everything I needed just one hole, obviously, for the screws. I just kind of kept going and did that so I wouldn't lose my spacing on it. Then I took my wire, cut a piece of wire. A little bit extra is nice because I started out too small, and you can just cut it off if it's too big. Bend it like a paper clip type thing, excuse me, like a U, and then you can put it down through both of your pieces at the same time. One through each hole, and then pull it back to the back side and twist it. Twist them all tight, nice and tight. You can, when you get to this point, excuse me, then you'll cut them off. You can cut them shorter, pound them, or push them way down in. Variety of different things. And I'll show you how to cover this up, a couple ideas. So you're going to twist these up. Oops. Do this one. Kind of twist with your hand first. And then you can use your needle nose pliers to twist it tight. Push them down flat. Oops. Remember to put the handle in. That's what I forgot. That's why there's so much wire back here. That one slipped out on there. Excuse me. And sometimes it's just like it says, trial and error to decide how you're going to attach it. Some things that we've made in the past, it's like, how in the heck am I going to do that? But you'll eventually figure it out. That's how you're going to attach it. Okay, let's see, pull this one out. Okay. There's one more here. Pull it tight. This one I didn't pull it tight enough. To make sure it's nice and tight. Otherwise your object on the other side is going to pull away from you. Okay. I think you've got the hang of it. Then, I know that's kind of ugly on the back. I'll show you how to get a hold of it. Wait, but cover it up, I mean. Then you just switch your drill bit out and put your Phillips screw, or most of the time you're gonna have a Phillips screw, I would think. Otherwise, a straight screw, whatever it is. And then you would just come along and put your screws in where you need it. I think the screws are kind of fun for decorative part of it. This was like a handle of some sort. But that's essentially what it is. Now you're going to drill 2 holes on the top for your wire. I'm choosing to use wire. You could use jute. I think you could, that would work too. Let's see, use this one. A couple different things with wire. Before we put the wire in, you can decide how you want to cover the back. So depending what you're going to do, this is, you'll want to clip your wires, push them down flat. One way you could do it, you could just, if you happen to have some furniture pads, the little furniture pads, you could put one in each corner so it won't scratch your wall. You could do that to lift it out. You could take a piece of felt and cut it to the right size and cover it up so that will do scratching. And this is the way I decided to do it. I happen to have a lot of little scraps, and you can just glue a piece of wood on the back like that. And that's another way to space it out so you don't scratch the back of your wall. So I'm just going to put it on with a little bit of wood glue. Let's see if it comes out. My husband warned me that wasn't very full, but anyway, you got the idea. Put it spacing however you want to do it. Some kind of a spacer because you probably don't want to scratch your wall. All right, so for the wire, there's several different ways to do the wire. However you like. You can look on Pinterest, I'm sure there's ideas. You can twist your wire like that. You can take your needle nose pliers and make it curlicues with it. Something like that. However you want. You can just twist it up. You can make a long tail with it. Another fun way I like to do it is take something round, like a pencil, and bend the wire 2 or 3 times. A pencil works much better. Oh, my paintbrush I could use. Bend it around it, just for a little decorative part of it, on it. And you pull your wire through. And however long you want your handle to be, make sure you allow, you can either put it through and start. Sorry about that. You can make sure you leave enough for you to do your twisting. Cut it. Put it through. Do a little more twisting. I just kind of like to hide the tails that way. I think it was add a little decorative to it. So there you go. That one is Faith. This one will finish up to be Love. This is a can opener and a pull knob. So, and there again, I have the holes are drilled for the wire, and finish screwing all these down. And you have whatever word you want. You could use blessed, simplicity, someone's name. You can do whatever you'd like for your words. So, all right, great. Thanks for watching, and have a good day. Have a good day junking and finding cool things to do with it.